All right, it is 9:30. It is time for the Friday Night Hangout. This is where we grab a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you on the live show. We also have the best of podcast version that will come out in a day or two. We're just doing a quick little pre-show Periscope with that new app from Twitter, which me and Dan, we've been, I know I've been having fun with it. Dan's just starting to use it there, so.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway, so as we get settled for this hangout, we have a very small panel with us tonight. Right now, just me and Dan from Dartmouth. Good evening, Dan.
For all our Japanese viewers, konbanwa, bitches.
And whenever Kerry is supposed to regain his connection, he should be jumping in with us here. Kerry from Cape Breton. But Kerry's been having a little bit of trouble here. So.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the fact that he's constantly getting locked up from the NSLC or what the deal is, but something's impeding his ability to connect. So, liquor board, make it happen for him.
Unlock the chains. And I think Lori's supposed to join us here a little bit later. She usually jumps in a little bit
Krista
later.
can't make it because she is attending the annual Price is Right event here in Halifax.
That's right. And Drew Carey is not here, but
Nope.
a lot of people are going to this Price is Right thing, Price is Right show. So,
Have you ever done it?
No, I haven't. I just watched on TV.
I want to know, do they actually bring, the Wheel of Fate there with them? The Crusher Wheel?
I don't know.
Or do they have, or is somebody held up like an iPad and you just come, spin your hand against it? And, oh.
No, I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe we can check Twitter here tonight and we'll be able to see something here.
Yeah, I hope people post pictures from the event. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so as we get started, so this is an interactive show. We're going to be going to comments fairly regularly tonight, especially since we got a little smaller panel. So you can comment with us live on Twitter, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, on YouTube, Google+, or on the Avoiding Chores website. We got a number of people watching here. Just noticing Dan on Twitter right now, our friend Michelle. Michelle says, watching from San Diego with Anita.
That's right, yeah. I noticed that in the Twitter feed, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, Twitter feed. Two social media professionals in San Diego. I wonder what's going on.
I think it's just the fact that they're in San Diego. I am jealous. I've been there once in my life when I was a very young kid. We did we were living in Alberta at the time, so we did the family trip to Disneyland versus World.
Yes.
And I remember we did a day trip down to Marineland for San Diego, and I remember sitting in the outdoor food court, and all the seagulls are just flying around. The guy's eating like a foot-long dog, and a bird proceeds to take a massive dump on his hot dog. But of course, he's biting to it, and as one does with a hot dog, you bite with your eyes closed, like. So I got to watch in slow motion this man eat a bird poop dog. It was amazing. Highlight of the day.
Good times in San Diego. All right, so let's start off with what we're drinking tonight. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, most people are going to say, well, Dan, you clearly are drinking an old fog burner because that's what you do, right? You're a mouthpiece for the man. Well, I will probably drink one later on. That's true. But right now, I do have a Propeller Irish Red, which I thought we'd change it up a little bit and have tried like that. I love me a red beer.
And you're almost out from the looks of it. You're below the label.
Oh, no. That's because I put most of it in there. Oh, trust me, I will be out of it very soon, in which case I have to go to my backup, which, again, Garrison, you and me, come on. What's going on here? I get no love. I spend a lot of money on you, man. Bring it back. Help me help you with your old fog burners. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Hopefully that will get through. They're busy this time of year, they're getting people left and right. And
Yeah, but they're not shoveling anymore. So that time they spent shoveling
Oh,
could be
sure.
time spent sending me a wonderful crate of old fog burners.
Be nice. I haven't touched a fog burner in a little while.
Ooh, a fog burger. That's what I need to do. Have a barbecue, make some old fog burgers to go with my fog burner.
That would be good. I am drinking from Picaroons, Simeon Jones.
How is that one?
It's nice and light. It's 4.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? It's a lager. Yeah, it's an amber ale also. But it's nice and light. It's easy drinking beer. It used to be it was kind of hard to find, but I've been seeing this all over the place now. So I believe
Well,
they
out of
have good
curiosity,
taste.
where in the Halifax area have you been purchasing most of your selection? I typically go to one place for my microbrewery needs, which is Crystal Wines over at the Bedford Mall or the Sunset
Hmm.
Mall there. But I'm sure there's a plethora of other locations. Like, what other suggestions would you have for our interneter friends out there?
Well, if you're in Halifax, the new relocated Premier Wine and Spirits, they were rebranded Rockhead. They've been slowly increasing their beer selection. And the next one is in your neck of the woods here on Dartmouth on Baker Drive. That's
Which one?
the Mount Hope exit. You know, that all
Okay,
the
yeah,
where the Sobeys is.
yeah.
In there, there's the other.
Oh, right next to the Access Nova Scotia.
Yep.
Yeah.
So on top of the hill. So that's where you get your beer selection. I also go to the sunny side, but when I'm downtown, I usually go down to Bishop Cellar, or I go straight to Garrison.
Mhm.
Go to the source for the fog burner.
Oh, it helps when you work downtown. For me,
Oh,
I spent my entire life in the Dartmouth side, so I don't really get to that side much.
I'm just seeing Twitter scrolling here. I might as well go to it here. Let's see. Michelle responds here that the reason her and Anita is in San Diego is because there is a social media market. It's the social media marketing world. 2,500 social media people and a lot of tweeting and hashtagging going on.
Okay. Hey, Michelle, who are the headliners for it? What
Yeah, what's the
bloggers
website?
and or
Yeah, website. Yes, give us the website so we can check it out.
yeah.
She says though it's 25 degrees Celsius in Sydney right now. It's 5:30 p.m. So a good 4 hours behind. And they're just considering dinner options.
Mm.
She's thinking a hot dog is out of the question after their story.
Well, outdoor hot dogs, okay? The street vendor hot dog. I'm sure a gourmet indoor hot dog should be fine.
Oh yeah. All right, let's start off with our first topic here, which is the local stuff. Again, if you want to comment, if you're on Twitter, you can do this live, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, or go to the Voting Chores website, or YouTube. We'll check YouTube after the next topic here. All right, so the first topic, which is interesting, we haven't heard any hockey-related stories in a while, but this is a good one. Rink rage nets a
Mm.
man 90 days in jail for threatening to kill his daughter's hockey coach.
Well, the one good thing I can only say about this, and there is only one good thing, is that the rage was directed towards another adult and not the kids playing on the ice, because you hear so
Mm.
many stories about that of parents threatening other children on the other team, and that is 150,000% uncalled for and unconscionable of stepping into that realm. Like, just it's disgusting.
I'm thinking more and more parents are just not sending their kids to hockey because of this kind of nonsense. Uh, the 35-year-old is being sentenced to 90 days. His daughter was 9 years old, so you can imagine 9-year-old hockey level. You know, they're 9 years old, right?
And you gotta
Uh,
think, what are they seeing? Like their own kids watching this happen with their own parents. I mean, what life lessons are they picking out of this as
mm,
well?
well, especially when the father is saying to the coach, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fight you right now."
Hmm.
I can probably give the Cape Breton accent there, but I'm
No,
going to
go
get.
ahead. We
Oh,
got time.
I
Go
can't. No,
ahead.
no, I can't. No, I can't. No, I really can't. Uh, Another good quote here, I'm going to get my brothers, my boys, my guns, and get you.
Ooh,
So,
are you sure this wasn't in the valley?
no, no, this was in Cape Breton. Now,
Hmm.
this would be similar if you were in the valley, but, and let's see, and the father, he must be a troublemaker, because he also is a subject to a 10-year firearm ban on unrelated offenses. So
Hmm.
he's been keeping himself busy.
Again, it comes down to the value set there. You're going to be teaching the kids, like what they take out of it and how they're going to react in the ice. I mean, what do they see when they get home afterwards too? Like, is this an entirely different personality that just comes out on the ice? Is this because the father doesn't get a chance to have their hopes and dreams realized when they were kids, and now they're hoisting that on their own kids, or is it just overprotectionism of how well their own kids do?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you hear this term helicopter parent
Yeah,
nowadays, and that's a term that I hear a little bit more because of our little one there. But I said to the missus there with our little one, it's like, she's, we're gonna try not to be like that.
hmm,
But first thing out of the gate is like soccer, you know,
yeah,
anything but hockey, because and not only do you put all the investment, maybe it's the investment, maybe it's the fact that you got to drop, $1,500 even before you hit the ice,
maybe.
at that age. I don't know. Who knows? Who
I think
knows?
it's just the parents hoisting their own failed beginnings into hockey, and just hoping a better life for their own kids, and they want to try to remove any sort of obstacle in their way.
But man, you probably get better luck playing the lotto
Mm,
than wishing your kid will make a professional league. So, especially, and as you say, it's we're talking about the kid was his daughter.
yeah.
So that's even a much smaller um, field to try to succeed and try to make a career out of it. So, but anyway, let's do a quick
Well,
round. Oh yeah, go
well,
ahead.
one thing I want to touch on, you brought up the helicopter parents, or helicopter parenting. Yeah, there's a lot more of it now, but how much of it is actually due to parents versus the expectation of society? I mean, now we can't, let kids walk from school to home anymore. So yeah, we're creating society that we want helicopter parenting. I mean, if you don't, then you're like neglecting your child and get sent to prison. So I mean, yeah, we look at it badly, but we set ourselves up for this sort of society.
Well, it brings up a good point of walking home to school and stuff. I just look where we live right now, and there's no way I'm letting my kid walk home or not, just because of the conditions of the road and the fact that it's an 80 kilometer per hour road. There's no sidewalks, no shoulder. Remember back in the day where people were actually separated from traffic? You
Yeah.
had sidewalk, you actually had some grass or some shrubs.
Hmm.
Nowadays you're practically on the car, like people walking the bike lanes, and that's to me that's dangerous. But that's, as you say, we're creating these environments that forces us to be like that. So.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a quick check on YouTube, and we'll check the Avoiding Chores website. There's a few comments there, so give a chance for you, Dan, to refresh the
Well,
page.
on YouTube, I've just, aside from your splendid advertisement for the fact that we are live, we got Arthur Donald saying, "Hey guys, hey Arthur, it's
Arthur.
it's, it's pretty quiet and lonely here. Yeah, join us. Smoke 'em if you got 'em." So that's what we got on YouTube right now.
Oh my man, everybody must be at this Price is Right gig in Dartmouth,
Yeah, I
because
tell you, the
every,
entire world is there because
every
we are an international podcast.
yeah,
International.
or at San Diego for some social media thing.
Hmm.
Which I still haven't seen the link for the show yet. So for that, whatever they're at. Trudy up in Vancouver, she said, "Hey, my East Coast peeps, Cheers from BC. And my growler of Steel Oak Project 001. I should be your West Coast correspondent.
Project 001? I hope that's not the percenter. Whoa!
Oh, there's Kerry.
Hey!
You managed to get in, Kerry.
Yeah, well, I was on the road.
Ah, gotcha.
Wait, out of curiosity, were you at the NSLC?
When?
No, just now. You said you were on the road.
No, I wasn't. I did the NSOC at lunchtime.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough. We were just concerned.
Oh, okay.
And we got Mike. Turn down your headphones, Kerry. I'm hearing some feedback. Maybe something's loud. Oh, okay. I think it's good now. Oh. Am I the only one hearing this?
No, I'm hearing it too. It sounds like. Do you have speakers on along with your headsets?
This is a different computer, so I'll have to figure it out.
Oh, okay. Are you plugged in? Are the headphones plugged in the right spot?
I don't know.
Because sometimes they're plugged into the mic.
All right. Well, we'll put you on mute here, Kerry, just for a little bit here. So.
Well, I'm not. I noticed no feedback, so something must have changed.
Oh, you must have unplugged it. But anyway, oh no! Now we lost you.
Yeah, now we can't hear you.
Okay, here we go. Much better. Oh, but yeah, still hear us. Just turn it down a little bit. Yeah,
That's weird.
Weird indeed.
All right, so so you're saying on the Twitter you got the beer from Trudy.
Yeah, from Trudy, and then we got. I'm just gonna mute you, Kerry, there, just so that the feedback's just coming through there. So, and also my selfie stick is awesome. Comments, drinking water, LOL.
It's a good thing that Lori and Krista are here right now, or else we'd have like a 16-minute rant on the selfie stick. But if you do point it the right direction, you will get yourself a Belfie stick out of it. So I mean, you could try that.
All right. Let's see here. On Twitter, Michelle says here that keynotes from Michael Stelzner, John DeJulius, and a panel with Guy Kawasaki, Mary Smith.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, definitely some big names here at this session here. So, and also it's called socialmediaexaminer.com/blah blah blah. Just check our Twitter and be able to see that reply there from Michelle. Be able to check out that show. So cool, very cool. All right, let's move on with the next topic, which is
awesome.
Which is a great topic here. It did the social media rounds. I saw it on BuzzFeed, and I noticed some of the major American news orgs picked it up here. So, over the last weekend at the Nova Scotia Museum of Natural History, somebody left behind a stuffed bunny. So I guess some of the staff decided that, let me show get the screencast going, and somebody decided to have a little bit of fun on social media with it, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So they spent the day just doing social media posts with the bunny rabbit in different situations, and doing vines and just having a blast with it. And I think right now they have a promo that if you want to bring your kid, bring a bunny and take a picture with the bunny, with the found bunny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and the bunny's taking pictures with all the people from the store, from the museum, and I don't know. It's I think they scored. They actually scored a good one here. So.
Well, one of the things I had to check, first of all, I noticed that they post a lot of Vine videos of it. So the first thing I thought was geez, does the museum have its own Vine channel? That's crazy, but I'm guessing it belongs to a Lauren Oosthuizen.
Yes, Lauren. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. She was a very integral part of the Nova Scotia archive,
Mhm.
uh, social media presence, and she was able to do quite a bit of good stuff uh, with that. And I don't know if she's at the museum. She must be at the museum now, but she kind of moved around a couple different departments last few years there. So if she's at the museum now, that's a good asset to have because she's really good with this kind of stuff, taking content
Mhm.
from her workplace and doing stuff with it. So she came up with the I think it was her, or at least she did host the very first live tweet of the Titanic sinking a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
So a couple years ago, when you got up in the morning, if you were following Twitter, you're following the Nova Scotia Archives or whatever, they were tweeting out the radio messages from Titanic as they were being received in real time. So you would kind of be able to follow that during the day. So it's very interesting.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be something more like, if people were on the Titanic pretending as if they in an era where they could tweet, you had like, is that what the hell is that? Hashtag can't tell. It's like, what are the chances of that being an iceberg? Hashtag lol, things like that.
Yeah, no, the
Okay,
actual
by the way,
received messages. Yes.
go ahead and do that because that would actually be funny too. Tweets from the Titanic.
Sure, somebody tried it. Let's get to Carrie here. Let's Carrie, unmute yourself. And did you find out about this found buddy? Did you see this week?
No, I saw it, but it seems like a pretty good feel-good story, I guess, after all the other ones that we have around here. So it's something that is going to promote the museum and make it a little bit more friendlier. That's okay.
I agree.
It's hard to keep younger persons amused when you go into museums because they say, well, what is all this old stuff and everything else? I'm not interested. For instance, we were in an old coastal fort in England on the southern shore, and what they did to keep all the kids interested was they had little mice, little mice about that big, little fur mice. And I know like the exhibits or around the whole museum, they said, how many mice can you find? And in the end, if you get the correct answer, then they'll give you a prize. So it was just one of those things that I know our kids were interested in a lot more stuff when we were going around than them because of that little gimmick.
Well, yeah, as I say, you need those gimmicks to try to get people interested with something. You kind of lose the desire to go down to a museum or do stuff when we were younger to the newer generation. Like I don't hear kids these days say, "Hey, let's go down to the museum and watch the dinosaur exhibit." I just don't hear it. But then
Well,
again, I don't really hang out with
parents
kids.
still kind of do that though, because like sometimes you just need a break. You gotta find something to take the kids to. Thank you, Discovery Center, because that definitely kills an afternoon for us, and it works out well that way.
Oh, perfect.
But
Yeah.
I wonder how many copycatters we're gonna start seeing from other sort of establishments doing. Oh, look, we found a stuffed dinosaur. Ooh, and they'll start doing things like this. So I'm sure we'll see our fair share of copycatters.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure by the weekend or by Monday we'll see the next one.
Yeah.
No doubt. New dude to boot it.
You do the booty.
All right, let's do a quick check on comments here, and then we'll move on to the next topic. You are listening to or watching the Friday Night Hangout. This is only 4.5% tonight, and I haven't been drinking all night, so I don't know what's going on.
Dude.
I know, before maybe it's one of these things where I really need a higher alcohol beer to just sound normal. I believe people call it a functioning alcoholic, but
A
anyway.
functioning podcaster.
Yeah, functioning podcaster. Anyway, you can interact with us live. You can comment via Twitter, Friday Night Hangout, YouTube, Google Plus. I had to mute Carrie again because I'm hearing the feedback and it's distracting me. Okay, let's check comments here. Michelle on Twitter sends us a picture of their current view as we're having supper.
No.
Sunny, clear, nice.
Mm.
Maybe I should go to that show next year. How does one get to that? Do you have to actually pay? Or can you get people to pay you to go? I like that alternative. Anyway, that's it on Twitter. And then we got Off-Grid Farmsteaders. Haven't heard from her in a while. Up in Digby County. So nice to see businesses getting active in social media. Even NSCC finally got an Instagram account. Facebook is dying a slow death.
I want to agree with that one wholeheartedly. I am checking Facebook less and less just because I find it's just it's just basically an echo chamber of things from other locations. Is people reposting other things? The amount of ads. I don't know. I always scoffed at Twitter for the longest time. I could not see a reason to have Twitter because who cares? But now I'm starting to get it because Facebook is more about of you shouting out, where Twitter kind of creates a conversation, and that conversation is missing within your Facebook posts. So yeah, I've really started to peel back away from Facebook and enjoying a conversation, which you do get with something like Twitter instead.
Yeah, well, I definitely prefer Twitter for the conversation, and I've been using it for a while now. And same thing with I think one of my first people that I was following was Anita in San Diego with Michelle, as she was starting up her business there. So I remember following her for a while. So it's a very good conversational piece. And now with Twitter adding in some of these other pieces like Periscope, live video streaming.
And don't forget Vine. There's a lot of people that really like Vine.
And Vine. Twitter is becoming an interesting platform for specific bits of content. Now, Twitter Music really sucked. That was
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
that was
true.
absolutely disgraceful. But you know what? Facebook, I was off Facebook for a while, but then I'm getting a little bit more into the Facebook now, maybe because trying to look at, as we're promoting the Hangouts and the voting chores, people are on Facebook. Before we started off with voting chores, I was managing another website, and we had a forum, an old school forum. And the forum was dying because people just decided that they wanted to create their own little group on Facebook, and instead of having one forum, there was 8 or 9 Facebook groups all around. So the only problem is you can't search on Facebook. Right? Whenever they decide to turn on a real search engine,
yeah,
that will be a little bit interesting. But till then, as you say, it's an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Carrie, unmute yourself, and are you
release the Carrie?
Are you getting more into the Twitter, or you're still a Facebook guy?
I'm a Twittiot.
Your words, not ours.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not that versed in Twitter, but the Facebook, like Jim said, it did kill our the forums that we had earlier. And again, the biggest thing is that people use it, and everybody keeps in touch with everybody on it. It's amazing how big it's grown over the last few years. And the people you meet, then that's all they're doing is, well, yeah, Facebook me, I'll find you. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know what? As Anita pointed out here on Twitter, Facebook is not going away. No, it's not going away. And Anita, I turned on my conversion pixel on Facebook. Remember that event a couple months ago we went to? Facebook for Business. Facebook came to town and basically told us to give them money to get paid ads going, and get a conversion pixel and all that stuff. Anyway, we can talk about this for a while here, but we don't want to do that. Dan, on YouTube, what kind of comments do we have on your end?
I think it's still pretty much the same, and yeah, it is. So YouTube's been a little quiet because Price is Right's going on, so I don't blame them.
No.
But please feel free to post YouTube positive comments, negative comments, comment on the lack of old fog burner consumption by myself because I have yet to crack open that bottle. I am waiting for a call out on that. As soon as it comes, it shall be opened.
All right, and the last comment before we get to the next topic here, Anita was saying here, was retorting to my comment that I didn't think Facebook had a good search. But she's like, do you have, she says, what do you mean? Facebook has great search. Do you have graph search turned on, or do I have access? And I'm like,
But the average user wouldn't do that, though. I mean, unlike in Twitter, the average user can understand the search bubble in Twitter. I don't think they understand. The only thing they do a search for is for that friend's name, and then that's about it.
Well, we can go deeper into that there. I'll have to make sure. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I don't have turned on Facebook or don't really dive into. A lot of stuff now, especially when you're trying to promote yourself, if you have a small business or stuff like that. So. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to keep track these days.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Dum dum dum. Food truck.
April 1st is going to be the day where we're going to have a lot more user fees that we'll have to pay, increase in user fees, and the Liberal government sneaking up. They said 3% increase across the board, and when you go to the finance website, and there's wedding fees, hunting, and ferries.
Vehicle license, which is a big one.
Birth certificates, all that stuff. So it's all going up 3%. However, the food safety permit for mobile establishments, i.e. food trucks, is not going up 3%. In fact, it's going up over 300%. And that got the owner of the Food Wolf, Natalie, all in a huff. It was a lot, and she said, it is crazy to be slapping that type of increase, give people basically a week's notice, and especially when the thin margins are pretty tight these days, and of course food trucks, they're really only open a few months out of the year. We're going into April. Food trucks ain't going to hit the streets in April. They're barely going to start going out in May. So
how does that work for what's determined to be a food truck? So let's take an example. One of those shacks you see sitting outside of a Canadian Tire that sells, bird poop dogs and French fries. Like, would that be considered a food truck in that sense? Like, would they have to pay that sort of permit too? Because
yes.
Are there loopholes for these establishments to kind of work around it? It's like, hey, what if when we park the vehicle, we put it on jacks, take off the wheels? Guess what? It's here. Oh, it's time to move at night. Put the wheels back on. I mean, I don't know if there's a way that these businesses kind of work around this.
Well, there must be a loop. They're trust and location. They're just going to private properties and asking for permission.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that works. But it would be a big shot. It's like anything else. When you buy a house, you get all these additional fees that just start raking up. And it's like, oh my sweet Jesus! It's like everybody's got to have their piece of the pie. And there's 12 food trucks in the province, so instead of paying $38 for a fee, you're up to $193.
So yeah, for such a limited amount of targets, I mean, why spit on them like that?
I don't know. Who knows? Don't know. Let's unmute Kerry here and ask him, any food trucks in your neck of the woods, Kerry?
We've got a few that are in Sydney, but my favorite one is the little French fry truck that's in Glace Bay. That used to be a little truck from Montreal that's in Glace Bay, and they sell about the best French fries around town. But so I think if they had to either increase the price or to get to pay the fee or to decrease the price and make and sell more, I don't know. There may be a couple ways to get around it. But I mean, it's still the same thing. There's fees that are going to be going on for everything that are going around. And here in CBRM, it's the same way. We're low on housing starts, new housing starts, and everything else like that. So we're going to see a little bit of increases all the way around.
Mm.
And you said how long of a warning they had?
Well, it was April 1st, and it just came out yesterday, so they got barely a week, less than a week to.
How?
You know, because I don't know, I can't remember how it works. Especially when these trucks in the city got to buy the permit for their spot on a street downtown. So there's only a few spots where they can actually park downtown. So, you know, and I don't know when that comes up. I don't know if they pay during the winter, but that's a couple $1,000s. So you're not even starting, you know, flipping burgers in your truck, and you got to shell out a couple grand, and now you got to pay an extra couple $100 for a fee that used to be, you know, 40. So it's not cool.
Can you imagine doing something like this in Los Angeles? Like, you know, the city of mobile food establishments?
And I'm sure San Diego has awesome food trucks.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're all warm and sunny and blah, 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 blah.
Maybe Michelle and Anita got to go street side and get some supper there. So they seem to be commenting on Twitter quite a bit there. So maybe they're having trouble deciding what they want for supper.
So I'm going to give a free advertisement to Halifax food establishments, the mobile ones. The Gecko Bus is awesome. They are attached to the habaneros, etc., and they do a really good sort of fusion Espanol taco sort of food, the burritos and that. So I really like their stuff. So Gecko Bus. As Don Cherry would say, hey, for the Gecko Bus.
All right, let's do a quick round of comments here, and man, you know, the week that Lee's not on, complaining about lack of comments, we're getting a whole bunch of comments on the Avoiding Chores website. Trudy from Vancouver says, "Burn the fog, burn the fog."
Oh, okay, wait, I gotta make room for the fog. Excuse me.
What you need to do is do like the Wicker Man like scream at the end of the.
Oh, I could never do a Nicolas Cage properly.
All right, Trudy continues on and says here, I don't think you have to work around the food truck permit. I suspect permits are now in line with other cities. It sucks they leap so much in one fell swoop, but it's not a barrier for doing business. And that's the flip side of thing, too. It's like you look at some of the other food safety fees, like for restaurants and stuff, in line with the other ones, so there's not that disparity between the two.
But there's a way to do it, though. I mean, that's the problem.
Well, like anything else in government, you know, neglect for a few years, and it's like, well, got to do it now, so let's get it done with. Bluefin sitting on a rig in the middle of the Atlantic.
Watch out for polar bears.
Slow internet, he says tonight, but 300% increase in food truck permits. That really shows how to promote small business. And Trudy goes on to say here, the best food truck name in British Columbia is called Jesus Christ. Sorry, Jesus Crust.
That's awesome. You know, I bet you if here in Halifax, if they decide to have, you know, food truck brought to you by Irving, they would not see an increase in their taxes.
No, they get a decrease in their taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you probably wouldn't know about it either.
All right, let's do the next topic.
Well, we got some YouTube
ones.
Sorry. Jason Spears says, "Hi everyone, having a Vickers cross while cleaning some kegs."
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds like a really hard job.
That sounds very because Vickers Cross and stuff.
Yeah.
chant. He's doing some ancient Belgian monk
Yeah.
chant as he's cleaning out the kegs with the OxyClean and all that stuff.
Oh, oh, that stuff. Okay. Who is it? Billy Mays. Yeah, Billy Mays for OxyClean. And Arthur Donald says, "Open the bottle before the price goes up 3%." I agree. Ah. By the way, I'm getting my vault is starting to get a little low. I've got one left, so I gotta make a run for it soon, or else I'm kind of screwed.
Yes.
Or I also take donations. So that's all we
Turn-
got for YouTube right now.
All right. Well, maybe we need to turn on like a Patreon site so that we can get a fund to make sure the panelists get their vaults properly stocked.
Or a beer starter. Screw Kickstarter.
Ooh.
Oh wait, 1010. Fuck Kickstarter. Beer starter.
Oh, okay. Before we move on to the next topic here, comment just came through here. Off-grid farmsteaders says here, government is being quite sneaky in Bridgetown. Kicked out the Eggplant Cafe owners after letting them renovate over the winter, leading them to believe they could renew their contract once the town dissolved. Gave them a couple weeks' notice. The locks would be changed. Well, that sucks.
What?
Some sneaky shenanigans in Bridgetown.
Sneaky.
Too bad it's a nice little community. I was in there a few years ago for the triathlon and drove around town and kind of nice.
Oh.
Kind of nice little.
How was it triathlon?
I didn't do the triathlon. I watched people do it, but.
Oh, but like, do you know if the course was hilly or?
I think the bike route was a little bit hilly, but the half marathon portion of it was nice and flat. So.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is. Wish we had Mike here with us, but there was a polar bear swimming next to the Hibernia platform earlier.
By the way, we expect a comment from you, Bluefin. Make sure you put a comment about this one too, because we need your input.
So, but polar bear researchers say that they're not surprised. But just a reminder, the Hibernia oil platform, which is off the shore of Newfoundland, is 315 kilometers southeast of St. John. So it is in the middle of the ocean, literally. But one of the researchers here said that, hey, you know what? Animals lose track where they are sometimes, and they just get lost. So it's not surprising to see a polar bear out so far, especially when there's a healthy supply of fish and other food to keep them going there. So
maybe it's like an Arctic Loch Ness. This is how we're gonna get famous.
And let's see here. It said a recent study here completed in Alaska that on average a polar bear can swim more than 150 kilometers at a time, depending on their age and weight. They said that the bear appeared near the Hibernia oil platform Monday, was fairly young, is not that large, so probably heading there for a little refuge or something like that. So, but the longest known swim for a polar bear is almost 700 kilometers.
Wow.
Wow. Hey?
Holy shit. And I bet you if you got a bear that swims 150 kilometers, that's probably a pissed off bear. Because it's like, God damn it, I've been out here for 150 kilometers. You better have some fucking fish for me.
Let's ask Carrie, because I believe Carrie was spent some time up in the north. I wonder if he ran into some polar bears. Carrie.
Oh, you got on mute.
Oh, you got on mute.
There. No.
There you go.
I was up north. I didn't see any polar bears. It was summer.
Oh.
Did you just see some wolves? Some Arctic wolves?
No.
Nothing? Wow.
No. Muskox. So them. Oh, they're nice. Taste good too. That there are orcas in the North Atlantic.
Really?
If you didn't know that, there are.
Did not know that.
Out there.
Do they swim in fairly large? Is it a pod? A pod of whales? I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are a few of them in between here and Newfoundland, so they're out in the deeper water. So
Really? Man, can you imagine? Buddy is working off Hibernia. He sees a polar bear swimming in the ocean, and all of a sudden, orca comes up, and there's a big polar bear and orca fight going on.
Have you seen that video of
awesome.
the orca versus like the great white?
Nope, did not see that.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's like the greatest video ever. It's like great white versus orca. Oh, like you can't make movies any better than that.
Well, I tell you what they can make better. A 6-part X-File revival coming on Fox.
Yes. Thank you. Huge fan of the show.
I think
Except for the last 2 seasons, I didn't care for much. But,
yeah, that's pretty much when I kind of tuned out.
Yeah. Sorry, is it Robert Patrick? Is it Robert Patrick?
T-1000?
Yeah, the T-1000 dude. Sorry, I didn't care for it when he showed up the show, but before that, yes.
Yeah. So, do we have Netflix to thank for this?
That's what they're saying. They're saying that there's having things like Netflix, your Hulus, your Amazon Video, your Crackles. It's breathing new life and giving options to creators, not having to go through the big networks to actually greenlight their projects or what they want to do. So now being able to go to these smaller places with lower overhead that are craving for relevant content, this is a big deal for things such as this. The next one I'd like to see, Babylon 5. Michael J. Straczynski, this is your time to shine. Make it happen.
What has he been doing lately?
Comic books. No, he does a lot of
that's right. Yeah, that's right. He did that one on Spider-Man. That's right.
Yeah. But MJC or S? Netflix wants you. You just don't know it yet.
Where was it filmed? Was it filmed in Vancouver?
Yes.
Yep, well,
except the later half, they switched down to LA because they got a lot of political pressure to start filming down there.
I thought it was Duchovny. The wife was down in L.A. And
well, there's that too, but there's other things. But yeah, but predominantly Vancouver.
The first 3 seasons, I think they were like the best.
That'd
be awesome.
I like the one with Jesse Ventura myself, where they're telling the same story.
Yeah, that's right.
From different vantage points.
Was that the one with Alex Trebek too, right?
Oh, was that Alex Trebek?
Yeah, Jesse Ventura and Alex Trebek.
Oh, yeah. That was an amazing episode. So many good episodes. And actually, there's a lot of careers that kind of got launched from that show. I mean, aside from your Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny, I mean, there's a couple of blanking on their names now, but I remember seeing the listing of the actors that had, like, just bit roles in them that end up being, come out and doing Hollywood roles and that too. So there's a lot of people that got affected to it.
I'm sure there'll be a BuzzFeed article soon. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic here. And actually, you know what? Let's do what we're drinking tonight, since Carrie joined us here. So, Carrie, what are you drinking tonight?
Guess which one it is.
Well, I think it's Epic Rooms.
Okay. Good.
I think it's
Double IPA.
Oh, it's best bitter.
The best bitter.
He loves the best bitter. Well, I thought about you, Carrie, there, and I got me the Simeon Jones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And of course, the wonderful, the luscious, the double-digit Old Fog Burner, OFB.
OFB. He's trying to get all Wu-Tang.
Was that like dirty old bastard? I'll have like dirty old Fog Burner.
Old dirty bastard.
Yeah.
All right, next topic here. Airline worker arrested for stealing cash from the tray of the airport security. So you know that little basket you got to put your stuff in, goes through the machine, you get it on the other side. Well, I guess this guy in between was going through people's wallets and just, grabbing the bills, putting the wallet back, and people grabbing their stuff, and then only later find that, hey, Where's my money?
So it makes you think, like, how long was this going before this guy was caught? I mean, he couldn't have just done like one big score and then he got caught the first time. So this must have been going on forever. And it just shows another layer of the distrust that people have with the entire system. I mean, we already know that the security is just a facade. It's just theater. And then you throw stuff like this and you start questioning, why am I going through this? Why?
And it wasn't like a young guy. He was 52 years old, so he was you know, somebody who should know better here. But we'll talk. We'll get Kerry here to ask him because he travels traveled recently going through some major airports here. Do you ever think about the security screening there, Kerry, when you go through about your stuff?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's pretty. It's good. It's fair. Um, in a way that everybody's sort of treated the same way, but people don't realize that they can prepare themselves for that experience, and some people have bad experiences about it, some don't. It's just follow the guidelines and do what you're supposed to do. As far as taking your coins out of your pockets and your money, I put mine in my backpack or in a laptop bag, so that it's sort of there where I know where it is. It's not in that little tray. The little tray where you say, oh yeah, you put all your coins and everything else in there. So this guy was probably looking at the coins going, yeah, okay, pass it through, see you later, and doing the old finger pick on a couple of coins. I said, well, I can get a little bit more now. Oh, there's so-and-so's wallet. Well, yeah, flip through it real quick. Yeah. But, he's probably saying, it's my job to look at these things, and then, thinking they can get away with it, and it just grew and grew and grew.
Well, that's definitely what the advice they're giving travelers is to put stuff on your carry-on bags and packs so that you don't have to put those types of valuables inside your tray in the trays.
Well, then you also hear the stories. I mean, they're going on forever about the luggage and that. The fact that, like, you basically you put it on that nice little conveyor belt past the ticketer, and then at some point at the end you get it back, and you're just hoping everything is still there. So it's a gigantic trust exercise going through airports, a tremendous one. And it's a hard thing to get over. And also, I don't think that we're all really treated fairly when it comes down to airport security, because if my name was Abdul Ahmed, I'm pretty sure I get checked out more often than not.
Yeah. I would think so. Unfortunately. I think Family Guy had a pretty good image here. I saw a screenshot there where Peter Griffin was pulled over and the cop had some cards, kind of like paint swatches, but with skin color tones.
Mm-hmm.
You had good and so that's if you were white, nothing happened to you, but if you're a little darker, then then you have to go through the process and stuff.
So basically, what you need to do is whenever you go traveling, find someone that's a little bit darker than yourself, and that way, it's sort of like going on a date with someone that's uglier than you, so that way you look better looking.
Well, you know what?
Please send all angry emails to avoidingchores.com. I'm sure that Jim will love to deal with all those. You're welcome.
But I wonder how many people are going to be a little bit more nervous after hearing about that plane crash in the in the Alps.
Okay, I have to plead ignorance on this. I mean, you hear a lot about it, but I don't know all the details. They're talking about changing rules about the amount of pilots that have to be in the cockpit, and the guy was saying that, talking about his sick leave or something like that. Like, what exactly happened?
Well, it sounded like this co-pilot had some real mental issues. He had notes from the doctor telling him that so he can get off work. He was taking medication and stuff. So I guess he was hiding all this from the employer, Lufthansa, the aircraft company. And for whatever reason, during this flight, you have a mentally unbalanced guy co-pilot in this plane. For some reason, the pilot left. I guess you're not supposed to, or they were pretty lax. You can have just one guy in the cockpit. So he locked the door and started the ascent at 700 kilometers an hour, so that by the time the pilot is trying to get through, banging through the door, plow right through the mountain, or pulverized. Now you've seen a lot of the airlines, like Air Canada, saying that there has to be 2 people in the cockpit at all times, flight attendant or whatever. And I think in the U.S. though, it was firm that there always had to be 2 people on American Airlines. So that's basically what I got from that. But you don't think about that. Of all the stuff that you think about, airlines and airport security and stuff, you don't really think about, should I worry about the pilot or the co-pilot, right?
So I like this small little Air Canada hopper planes where the door is actually wide open and they actually have like the cooler of drinks right beside them, so they tell you, if you're thirsty, just come on up,
Exactly.
So it's pop. It's not like it's brewskis. They're not, the pops are not.
Exactly.
But I mean that's awesome.
All right, let's do a quick round of comments. Again, folks, watch on Twitter. Friday night hangout, small panel tonight. We think half the panel's is off at the there's a Price is Right live show happening right now in Dartmouth. Maybe they're there. Who knows? We got Michelle and Anita enjoying San Diego. They haven't seen the food truck in San Diego yet, but they do have
Get the hot dogs.
But they do have a harbor hopper called the Seal. Dean 2K, I think Sackville, New Brunswick. Finally, the wide-paneled gusset we've all been waiting for, which I kind of forget what he's referencing there, but yeah, I know I haven't had too much to drink, so I can't get it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. And I can't remember what we were talking about for the line, so I apologize, Dean. Ain't getting it. YouTube, Dan.
YouTube. All right, I got a couple of extra ones. Jason Spears comes back and says, I read online that X-Files will be pulled off Netflix next week. Been meaning to rewatch. Yikes. So, if you need to catch up on your X-Files, start your watching now. Oh, actually, not now. 1 hour from now, once the podcast is done, start rewatching your X-Files. And our man Keith, hey Keith, he says, "Hey, bleepers, we'll be back next hangout with a new rig, new webcam, etc. Also, fresh supply of pog burner for me." Oh, Keith, you shouldn't have.
Keith is making a special delivery, buddy.
You're so cool, man. Wow. I'll give you my address. So yeah, that's what we got on the YouTubes.
All right, and finally on the Avoiding Chores website, we got a number of comments from Bluefin. He was saying here there were 2 polar bears spotted that night on the oil rig. Apparently there were some ice about 30 kilometers away. Come May, I will have been working out there for 18 years. We have never seen polar bears out there before. It was pretty interesting. So back to what we were saying before, bears were swimming out 30 kilometers looking for food and stuff, and just happened to be swimming around this rig, sitting on some ice. Crazy.
Oh, by the way, just saw on Twitter, Krista just put down the fact that, hi guys, I just got home from the TPIR. Ooh. And so I'm watching you on the TV with my Chromecast. So, I need to know, Krista, did they have the giant wheel of death? Did they spin it? And, the crusher wheel? I need to know if they actually have that, or they use like some sort of CGI sort of like stand-in. So let us know.
All right, but Bluefin was mentioning here that the bear was probably finding a place to rest. It is 5 meters from the water to the concrete slab. I guess there's a slab for a rest for the bear, so yeah, pretty interesting.
Do bears climb ladders?
I don't know. You figure they can swim hundreds of kilometers. You figure they have more than one skill, eh? Bluefin also mentions here that he spent 5 months on an icebreaker in the Arctic Circle back in '79. He saw 38 polar bears that summer. And Off-Grid Farmsteader says, I don't want an oxygen mask to fall during a plane crash. I want a parachute in my chair.
I want an old fog burner. Thump.
Yeah, old fog burner.
Like with a little baby bottle, sort of like nipple at the end of it.
And let's do a quick check on one last check on Twitter. Krista said yes, they did have the big wheel.
Ooh. Wicked.
All right, excellent. All right, it is time now for crazy products from the internet. If Dan has any.
That was me. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen in our case, we have a G-rated version of the segment, which is, weird for a change. I decided to look at what's out there in off-brands. When you go surf, buying your favorite item, but you can't afford, real Coca-Cola anymore, so you have to go for something that's a little bit cheaper. So I just wanted to come out with a listing of all the off-brands that I came across with, which, by the way, the biggest market for off-brands I find was actually cereal. So I'm going to show off a couple of them see if people can kind of recognize what they may or may not be replacing. So we got that one, first of all. Crispy hexagons. So for those who are playing the game at home, try and guess what crispy hexagons are supposed to be in the realm of cereal. I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Chex. Okay, actually it is Chex. You're right. So I got that. Another sort of weird one, and this is actually one that I grew up with, so this is a bit of a stretch. It's Mr. T cereal. Now, Mr. T cereal was sort of the poor man's version of Captain Crunch. And if anyone knows Captain Crunch, it's made of basically diamonds that you consume that tear up the roof of your mouth. Now, Mr. T cereal is designed to actually have little T-shaped items because, it is Mr. T. So you can imagine all those hard corners developed out of diamonds destroying the roof of your mouth. Mr. T cereal, truly, he does pity the fool. So what else do I got there? This one, it's not a cereal, but I love this. If you have nerds, you gotta have dweebs. I'm wondering if that's like from the dollar store. One of those, food items that you get shipped in from China directly.
They're made by Willy Wonkas. They're like odd-shaped nerds.
Yeah. Oh, this one, of course, everybody knows. Walmart has their own brand, so you got great value Fruit Spins. Which, I don't know, that box is really disturbing for me personally, because that frog's seen some shit.
Yeah.
That's that would be your Fruit Loops representative. Thank you, Walmart, for your wonderful products. But yeah, it's not only cereals. You do also have beverages. So I found where is it? Oh yeah, 2 for 1. You've got Mountain Lion and Dr. Perky. So Dr. Perky would, of course, be your Dr. Pepper, which is a gross drink to begin with. Blah. But Mountain Lion, I'm guessing that's Mountain Dew?
Yeah, you would think, yeah.
That's a bit of a stretch in its naming in that. So one more off-brand I found, well, it's not really an off-brand, it's just a weird cereal I saw. And I've seen my fair share of weird cereals, usually attached to cartoon characters, like Pac-Man had its own cereal, and as we all saw, Mr. T did. But I never realized that he had his own cereal. Urkelos! Because Steve Urkel, when I think of breakfast, I think of Steve Urkel.
I wonder if Jamil, I think the actor's name is Jamil.
Yeah, Jaleel White or something.
Jamil. Hopefully he got a cut, because maybe he's been living off Urkelos, royalties.
So yeah, it's a special edition one because, as you notice, that he is actually trying to drum up, get it, drum, up voters for his push for presidency, and you get an opportunity to win a trip to Washington D.C. So this clearly was done during who would have been president at the time?
It's made by
Clinton, Bush, maybe
That would have
the
been the
original
first,
Bush.
first
made
Bush.
by Ralston Foods. That's up in the top corner there above the U. Ralston.
Ralston.
Yeah, Purina.
Purina, Ralston. They make animal food.
Well, they also
Dear
make
God. Urkelos is made of people.
cereal.
So, yep, those are some of the off-brand products, not bad products, because I think I've thrown enough sort of like dildo-shaped toys and all that sort of stuff. I thought I'd do a clean one for once. So,
Okay.
no delving into the dark web today, folks. We just had to go with regular internet for this one.
All right, perfect. All right, should we bother doing Cards Against Humanity tonight? Guys, want to do a quick round?
Hey, it's your show, man. I've got the
Get your stuff.
cards right here.
Carrie, get your cards too.
We're good. We're good.
We're good. Okay. All right. My wife moved my cards, my deck of cards here, so I don't know where they are. So which I'm just going to use the online version, which is Cards Against Originality, and it has selected my white cards for me. So we'll just do 2 rounds of this. Carrie can pull out a black card, and Dan can pull out a black card. And you guys can watch it. If you have a deck of cards, pull it out, and play along, and tweet back Friday Night Hangout. All right, Carrie has his first one here. What's that smell?
Ooh, what's that smell?
What's that smell?
Do I go to hell if I show off my card? Do I get like an opportunity where I'm allowed to do very nasty things without actually getting punished for it by God?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's gonna be mine. Auschwitz.
Auschwitz.
Bad.
I'm sorry. It's the cards. The fate chose this one. I had nothing to do with this one.
You gotta go with that when you have to, eh? Ooh. I got basically giant sperm from outer space.
Ooh.
What's that smell?
In space, no one can hear you smell.
No.
Mm.
All right. Let's do a next round. We're only going to do 2 rounds tonight, so we're a small panel. So.
All right.
All right.
Gentlemen, what's the new fad diet?
What's the new fad diet?
What is the new fad diet? We've done Weight Watchers, we've done South Beach, we've done North Beach, we've done No Beach. What is the new fad diet? Bueller.
The only thing I have here is Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets.
That would be an awesome diet. Because, you try to bite into it, you're just going to burn your mouth off. So, you can only take 1 bite and then you can't eat the rest.
What does Carrie got? The latest fad diet.
Right now. Oh, yeah, you're going to pick the next one that comes up.
I'm going to have to say my new fad diet would also have to be Auschwitz.
Yeah, try to recover back from that one, eh? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's the cards. It's not me. Really. It's not me. It's the cards. I'm a good person.
Pretty cool hat.
What do we got? A really cool hat. That would be a new fad diet. All right, so that would be our 2 rounds. Wow.
Yeah, 2 rounds. Yeah, short one. Small panel. No point doing a whole bunch here, but it's a little bit more fun when we have more people, a regular complement of panelists here. So anyway, let's do our last little bit here, which is the Wayback machine. Just a reminder, folks, the replay of the live stream will start 10-15 minutes once we're done, which is going to be in 10-15 minutes. We're going to do a podcast version, which is going to be kind of like the best of. So it won't necessarily be a full replay. So we're doing something a little different with the podcast. So definitely check that out on iTunes. We're on Downcast, Stitcher, all that fun stuff. All right, let's do the last one, which is Wayback
1995.
The Wayback Machine, 1995.
Can I make the obvious thing that happened in 1995?
Mm-hmm.
There was a release of an OS called Windows 1995 or Windows 95. So we got that.
Was it actually out in 95?
Yes. And actually, I'm going to wear my nerd hat right now because I'm one of those idiots that actually went to the store at midnight and grabbed my copy of Windows 95 and was blown away because I had no idea where all my files were anymore. Because, you know, you had that desktop. That desktop was weird. Normally you'd have like a file explorer so you knew where everything was, but Windows 95, they tried to hide the files from you in a weird way. So it took me like about 2 weeks to try to figure out where the hell C drive was.
Those were the days, eh?
Yeah. Whew. Also, actually, a big thing for Canada happened in '95. That would be a referendum year. That was the year that the good guys won by a narrow margin, and we decided to become a happy family for a while longer.
That's right. O.J. Simpson was found innocent in 1995.
Yes, found innocent. Just like he found the real killer. Yes. This one's a good one for you. Okay. JavaScript was introduced.
You know,
and deployed.
I was just going to say that, too.
Oh.
That was the next one I was looking at. Well, I'm just going to change pages here, so that because obviously we're both looking at the same.
Which one do you look at? Which one do you look at?
Well, I don't know. I just sometimes I just click on whatever and then.
I use the peoplehistory.com.
Okay.
Dow Jones closes above 5,000 for the first time. 5,000.
I don't follow stocks, so
it's been a while since we've been around 5,000.
Well, you know, let's. Normally, Krista would be looking at the music, but I'll do that for her tonight. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise.
Wow, that's 95?
Yeah, that was pretty big in 1995.
Oh my God, I'm old.
TLC had their big year, Waterfalls and Creep.
I have a bullet here that says U.S. imposes economic sanctions against Iran, but technically that could fall under basically every single year, so I don't know why they decided to say 1995 for that. It's like saying, I breathed that year.
Here's a band that we haven't heard from since 1995, Collective Soul.
Oh, ooh, yes. There's a reason. Oh yeah, the nerve gas thing in the Tokyo subways happened in 1995.
Oh, geez,
remember that?
The Oklahoma City car bomb.
Was that the same year?
That was in 1995.
Holy shit. For those who follow the sports, Major League Baseball ended their 232-day strike in 1995, which is also going back to 1994, which would have been the year that the Expos would have won the pennant, or the whole thing. But, yeah, you can't have a Canadian city win it 3 years in a row. God forbid.
Hey, the WB television network launched in 1995.
Really? Wow. Toy Story, first ever wholly computer-generated film, 1995.
Xena, Warrior Princess, debuted on TV, 1995.
And there's a lot of young men out there that will remember that so fondly. So fondly.
Carrie,
by the way, what was her companion's name in Xena, Princess Warrior?
Oh,
Quick.
Gabrielle.
Thank you. What a lovely friendship they had.
To the end. To the end.
Yes.
Carrie, 1995. What happened for you?
Star Trek Voyager debuted.
I never got into that one.
Voyager?
I mean, I watched The Next Generation. Well, you watch the original. Well, at least I watched the rerun of the original. You watch The Next Generation. I enjoyed Deep Space Nine. I thought they did a pretty good job with it, which was actually a rehash of Babylon 5 to bring it full circle. But Voyager I never really got into.
I got interested when Seven of Nine started showing up on the show.
Xena Princess Warrior in space.
You know, the show was starting to make sure they didn't lose the complete audience. Yeah. What can we do to boost the show? Oh, 7 of 9.
Yeah, not just 7 of 9. We need a set of breasts in a tight uniform. Make it so.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if you go to the Enterprise series, which is with Scott Bakula, you had was it T'Pau, which is constantly going through the cleansing chamber. Yeah, the sexy oil chamber to get her prepped to get back on ship every episode. Thank you, Star Trek.
Star Trek. Oh Lord.
Giggity.
All right. Well, let's do
Weezer.
Oh,
you got some Weezer that came out that year. Rage Against the Machine, Van Halen, Alanis Morissette. There was actually quite a few big bands at the time. Smashing Pumpkins has some stuff down there. Movies included GoldenEye, Jumanji, Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is a very good movie, may I add. Not as good as the original, but nothing ever is. Braveheart was 1995. The Academy Award-winning Crazy Man film for Mel Gibson, and Apollo 13.
On the TV side, we had News Radio, 1995.
That was an awesome show.
We saw this in Canada on a different channel here, but the Max animated series. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That was some stuff of an Image comic book. I'm blanking on the artist's name right now, but
David Keith.
Yes.
Sam Keith. And I had the comics. I had the Max, and it was it was a messed up comic book. Image to some
all the stuff, but you got the Rob Liefeld stuff, which was messed up because he can't draw feet worth his saving his life. By the way, last week we were supposed to talk about the Batgirl cover, and we didn't do it. And I was ready to show off my first edition of Batman: The Killing Joke, which got signed by the artist and writer for it.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it when it came out because
I just got some reprint. I think the year after.
No, I was a huge comic. Like I still have boxes upon boxes upon boxes of comic books sitting in my closet, just collecting dust, waiting for something to happen.
Unfortunately, all of my boxes of comic books was during the boom where they're worth nothing now. So I got rid of them a long time ago.
I kept them around because they're going to be passed along.
Well, I there's a stack of Spider-Mans I think I kept in a box somewhere. They'll be in rough shape, but when somebody's ready to read some Spider-Man comics.
Everything I have, double backboard, double bag. The only way to make it happen. I was super OCD about my comics.
Wow. However, I was very fortunate. Somebody gave me a stack of Mad magazines from the late 70s, early 80s. That is going to get handed down. So, unfortunately...
Are all the backs folded, though?
Yes, the backs have not been folded.
Oh, that's even rarer, then.
All right. Let's do a quick round of comments, and then we'll just cap it off for another evening since we're going through all the topics here for tonight. And we got... all right, Bluefin says, great show, gang. Got to leave early tonight. Going to be working at 6 a.m. See you next week. And same thing from Off-Grid Farmsteaders. So Thanks a lot, guys, for commenting on the Avoiding Chores page. Dan, anything on the YouTube?
I got 2 from Krista on YouTube. Hey Suckers, for one. And another one, don't go chasing waterfalls. My dears, nighty night.
All
So,
right.
thank you, Krista.
That seems to be the thing. Twitter is pretty much dead because everybody's going to bed.
Well, you know what? For the fact that there's just the 3 of us, I think we did a pretty damn good job.
Well, I think so too. So we just need to fix Carrie's feedback issue there, which
And I gotta fix my deck. I mean, really, Auschwitz twice? Come on, Cards Against Humanity. Really? You're making me look bad.
All right. So just a reminder: the replay will start about 10-15 minutes from now. You can watch from the beginning. The podcast will be the best of this episode. So
it'll be about 15 minutes long. Gotcha.
Yeah, it will be very, very short. So, podcast. All right. Thank you very much, panel. Thank you, everybody watching, commenting, and we'll do this again next Friday. So.
And I'll say on behalf of Krista, good meeting.